I'm a singer and songwriter, country and R&B music. Don't Come Again and Never Gonna Be. They're my first country songs. I'm doing this all myself, no major label. I have friends on the left and the right. And one thing I wanted to mention, you might see me reshare the fraud situation that's going on. But what I wanted to let you know is, regardless of what party it is, if it's the left or the right, either party, I would want held accountable with our tax money. And I'll explain why I take this to heart. I have an alcohol company. I have a premade Jell-O shot company. I was told you'll have so many opportunities as a woman-owned company to get a loan, a grant. I tried so hard for years to get money. I also fight 2 neurological diseases. A single mom was trying so hard to get my alcohol company to take off. I landed one of the biggest wine distributors, Johnson Brothers. And at the time, they recently took over the state of Virginia. They had 19 other states they were in. This is 2022. They were going to put them in all the supermarket chains. And now a competitor, Slurp Shots, is beating me. And their products are made in China, and they don't even taste as good. I put money down, paid my co-packer, had a contract with them. The machine I bought from China was having problems because the American machines were so expensive for me to pay for out of pocket. The Chinese machine had nothing but problems from the beginning, but the co-pack agreement said the co-packer was to pay for repairs. I landed Johnson Brothers, was about to go in the state of Virginia in 2022, and my co-packer was having trouble with the machine again and quit with no notice. He actually breached contract, but good luck a little person like me, a small female-owned LLC, suing a millionaire co-packer in court. And the reason I take this fraud to heart, whether they're on the left or the right, I would be just as upset, is because I was self-employed and not one thing I could get as a woman. As a self-employed business, I went into major debt to get my business started, and I paid it all off whenever my mom passed away. Nobody would help me as a female-owned business in America. One side of my family was here since the Revolutionary War. I got absolutely no loans, no grants, nothing. Went in debt, almost got myself to take off, and my co-packer breached contract the last minute. I still do plan on working on my business. I put it on the back burner right now. But please tell me why we're so generous that we help these people from other countries, and then they steal billions in fraud money. Every generation of my family were in the military. My grandfather served in 3 wars. Actually, my family live in Minnesota and North Dakota as well. My mother's from Bismarck, North Dakota. She lived on Minot Air Force Base. But please tell me why a female American whose family helped start this country, my grandfather was a captain in the Revolutionary War, they stole billions from us with fraudulent companies. Please tell me why I could not get a grant or loan putting back into the country, starting an alcohol company. I would like to know why that is happening. But I am very upset as a woman business owner in America. I never got help with anything, absolutely nothing. I never could get any small loans or grants, no matter how much I tried. I found companies that wanted to try to help me, but I had to pay them many thousands for their help. Who can pay thousands of dollars just to hire someone to get you grants and loans? The start of my business came completely out of my pocket, and then when a co-packer breached contract, I didn't even have enough money to defend myself. But then I see all these people making billions in fraud. It's not right. I hope that anybody on the left or right is on my side. We should be mad regardless of the party that this is happening in America. If you're my Democratic friend or Republican friend and you have a business, I hope that you're able to get a grant or a loan. It's not fair that our tax money is being stolen in this way to any of us. We all should be angry. Nick Shirley, I have never seen be racist against anybody. I've seen him ask fair questions when investigating things. This is not against the Muslim community or the Somalians.
And I was just talking to some Muslims over there. They seem like pretty nice people. Have you ever talked to Muslims?
Well, even the
child care place that said they were open, and if they were open and they're not fraudulent, then that's great. I think that's wonderful. If you're not fraudulent and you are an honest working facility, I think it's wonderful. The only thing that concerned me is they said you were closed a week before. I went underneath the Minnesota public records and I did some investigating of the child care place, the one that had the N missing in learning. And it was a little bit disturbing what I saw. There were so many violations, and they're pretty bad violations. So one thing that I would like to ask the state of Minnesota is, this place has been in operation since 2022, regardless of who owns it. No matter what race or religion owns this child care place, why were any children put at risk with this place being open, to include Somalian children? There are so many violations, I'm in shock. That's why they're paid as a daycare place, to keep your kids safe. Staff to child ratios not maintained, did not comply with first aid training requirements, did not comply with CPR training requirements. The bottles weren't labeled with the kids' names on them. Meals did not comply with the nutritional requirements of the USDA. Kids' hands were not washed with running water. Electrical outlets were not tamper-proof or shielded. There's infants there, and toddlers. No emergency preparedness plan if there's a fire or an emergency. The correct number of qualified staff were not present. Staff did not supervise the children at all times. Fire extinguishers were not maintained. The equipment and furniture was not in good repair. Carpets and rugs were not in good repair. More electrical outlet violations that they could be tampered with and the outlets weren't protected. Hazardous objects were accessible to the children. They did not have their CPR or their first aid standards met. Carpets and rugs were not in good repair. The program's space was not clean. The program did not have any emergency equipment. Areas used by children were not in good repair. Children's hands were not washed with soap and water. Hazardous objects were accessible to children. Children did not have access to personal hygiene products. Equipment and furniture were not in good repair. Areas used by the children were not in good repair. The indoor air temperature was below 68 degrees. Children's files did not contain physical exams. Staff did not supervise the children at all times. Many times it says the license holder did not comply with all terms of the order of conditional licenses. A teacher or assistant teacher did not directly supervise an aide. Children not placed in correct age categories. Written parental permission had not been obtained for administering medicine or topical products. Again, the crib mattresses were dangerous for infants under 12 months. The crib mattress and the stuff like the sheets and everything were not safe for kids under 12 months old, which could lead to suffocation or SIDS. The program's space was not clean. Hazardous objects were accessible to children. It's all through these. Products to control diaper rash were not properly labeled. A hazardous area was accessible to children. Children's files did not contain all required items. Children's files did not contain immunization documentation. Staff did not supervise the children at all times.
Quality Learning Center violations from May 9, 22 to June 23, 25. Staff didn't wash hands with soap and water. 1. Staff didn't wash children's hands with soap and water. 2. Unqualified substitute used. 3. Hazardous area accessible to children. 2. Hazardous objects accessible to the children. 3. No policy for the handling or disposing of bodily fluids. 1. Didn't follow healthcare providers' written instructions for administering medicine. 3. Indoor space didn't meet square footage city requirements 1. The risk reduction plan didn't include policies or procedures required by DHS 3. Program space not clean 6. Staff orientation lacking items 1. All staff didn't do a training that was required 5. No access to personal hygiene products 1. Staff to child ratio not maintained 2. Freezing cold indoor temp under 68 degrees for the children 2. Crib mattresses and sheets dangerous for 12 months and under, risking SIDS or suffocation 5. Cribs not checked annually against U.S. Consumer Protection website unsafe crib listings 1. No plan for a child with special needs 2. Administration didn't follow medication procedures 1. Electrical outlets not tamper-proof or shielded 3. Kids placed in wrong age category 3. Correct number of qualified staff not present 3. Diaper rash products not labeled correctly 1. Parental permission for meds not obtained 3. Programs procedures not readily accessible 1. No individual plan for a child with a known allergy, such as peanuts 2. Background study not submitted to DHS when required 2. Infant feeding schedules not in food prep area 1. Teacher didn't supervise aid 3. Diaper changing procedures not posted 1. Areas used by kids not in good repair 7. Floor plan didn't have all required items 1. Children didn't have daily access to all areas 3. Meals don't comply with USDI 2. Staff didn't supervise children at all times 6. Fire extinguishers not maintained 2. Conditional license not posted in prominent place 1. Lacking equipment, supplies, furnishings, equipment 1. License action not posted in right place 5. More than 36-month age gap in age group 3. Children files contain no immunization records 3. No emergency preparedness plan 2. The program didn't report death, serious injury, fire, or emergency as required 1. Didn't comply with CPR training 2. Didn't comply with first aid training 2. No file for child 1. No file for staff member 1. No physical exam in child's file 2. No emergency equipment 1. Children's file doesn't contain all required items 3. Not complying with the operating terms of their license 10. Equipment, furniture not in good repair 5. Carpet rugs not safe, or in good repair 4. Child development and learning training didn't contain all required items 1. Napping area and equipment requirement not met 1. Documentation not available to ensure teacher met requirements 1. Posted emergency and accident procedures didn't contain all required items 1. Each infant's bottle not labeled with first and last name 1.
Total, there were 147 violations. There were 2 fines given for $200 twice for no background study being done for the Department of Homeland Security. They were given a conditional license on 6/8/22. You can read about the details here. This is all in addition to the recent closing that we learned about when they said they were closed last week. And again, 147 violations total. I just wanted to add one more thing. It was probably the most concerning one that I questioned. It said the program did not report a death, serious injury, fire, or emergency as required, and it was dated 10/23/24.